Hello and welcome to ITENERT. While Africa is endowed with plenty of natural resources and a cultural and ecological diversity, the majority of the continent still remains underdeveloped. In fact, no other continent features in the list of the least developed nations more than Africa. Despite the volatile economic situations brought about by civil unrest, corruption, tribal wars, and deep poverty, a number of African countries are defying the odds to post significant economic improvements. In this video, I present to you the 20 most developed countries in Africa 2024 by Human Development Index, HDI. The Human Development Index is a metric that is used to measure key dimensions that make up quality human life. These are the level of knowledge, a long and healthy lifestyle, and a decent living standard. When these factors are combined, they give a rough idea of the impact of economies on the quality of life. While it is widely said that Africa is developing, it is important to stress that Seychelles is the only African country with very high human development, according to the HDI report that was released in 2023-2024. Before we move to the list, if you are new to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. Let us hear you in the comment box below if your country made the list. Now here are the top 20 most developed countries in Africa by Human Development Index. Cameroon takes the 20th position with a Human Development Index of 0.587. Cameroon, a country lying at the junction of Western and Central Africa. Its ethnically diverse population is among the most urban in Western Africa. Cameroon is triangular in shape and is bordered by Nigeria to the northwest, Chad to the northeast, the Central African Republic to the east, the Republic of the Congo to the southeast, Gabon and Equatorial Guinea to the south, and the Atlantic Ocean to the southwest. In the 2 decades following independence, Cameroon was quite prosperous. The government initially concentrated on expansion of educational facilities, diversification of farm production, selective industrialization, rural development, and the introduction of rural cooperatives. In subsequent years, however, less central planning and more reliance on private enterprise and free trade became the dominant trends. Next is Angola with a Human Development Index of 0.591. It is the second largest Lusophone Portuguese-speaking country in both total area and population, and is the 7th largest country in Africa. It is bordered by Namibia to the south, the Democratic Republic of the Congo to the north, Gambia to the east, and the Atlantic Ocean to the west. It is graded as the 19th most developed country in Africa. The economic development of Angola has been highly influenced by activities such as agriculture, mining, and industrial activities. On the world stage, Angola is positioned number 150. Its population stands at 25,789,204 at present, with a per capita GDP of $5,327. Number 18 on the list is Congo with a Human Development Index of 0.593. The Republic of the Congo is a country located on the western coast of Central Africa to the west of the Congo River. It is bordered to the west by Gabon, to the northwest by Cameroon, to the northeast by the Central African Republic, to the southeast by the Democratic Republic of the Congo, to the south by the Angolan exclave of Cabinda, and to the southwest by the Atlantic Ocean. It is positioned as the 18th most developed country in Africa with a population of 6 million. According to the HDI, the country sits at position 149 in the world. Congo's development is characterized by a combination of handicrafts, agriculture, and an industrial sector, which is predominantly dependent on petroleum production. Mining is also a major activity in the country, but a large vast area remains untapped. The country taking the 17th position is Kenya with a Human Development Index of 0.601. Kenya, officially the Republic of Kenya, is a country in East Africa. A member of the African Union with a population of more than 47.6 million in the 2019 census, Kenya is the 28th most populous country in the world and 7th most populous in Africa. The economic development of Kenya primarily depends on tourism, agriculture, and industrial activities. The recent infrastructural developments in the country have led to projections that the country's economic muscle is bound to grow. It is positioned as the 17th most developed country in Africa, with a population of 47.6 million. According to the HDI, the country sits at position 146 in the world. Ghana is next on the list. Ghana, officially the Republic of Ghana, is a country in West Africa. It abuts the Gulf of Guinea and the Atlantic Ocean to the south, sharing a border with Ivory Coast in the west, Burkina Faso in the north, and Togo in the east. Ghana is positioned as the 16th on the list of the most developed African countries by HDI, and 145 worldwide. It has a population of approximately 32 million individuals, and it largely relies on the exportation of industrial minerals, agricultural products, petroleum and natural gas. Namibia is number 15, with a Human Development Index of 0.609. Namibia, officially the Republic of Namibia, is a country in southern Africa. Its western border is the Atlantic Ocean. It shares land borders with Angola and Zambia to the north, Botswana to the east, and South Africa to the east and south. Situated in the southern part of Africa, Namibia is positioned as the 15th most developed country in Africa and 142nd position worldwide. The country has a population of 2,606,971. The economic expansion of Namibia is closely related to that of South Africa, due to the fact that they share a common history. Mining, agriculture, and tourism are the major economic activities in the country. In terms of technology, they have a highly effective online banking system, which operates as a great medium of online transactions. Another country taking the 14th position is Eswatini with a Human Development Index of 0.61. Eswatini is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It is bordered by Mozambique to its northeast and South Africa to its north, west, south, and southeast. Eswatini is one of the smallest countries in Africa. Despite this, its climate and topography are diverse, ranging from a cool and mountainous high veld to a hot and dry low veld. It is positioned 14th most developed country in Africa with a populace of 1,343,098, but falls at position 142 in the world. The economic growth of Eswatini is highly dependent on agriculture, forestry, and mining. As a landlocked country, the country does most of its business with South Africa. São Tomé and Príncipe are next on the list of most developed countries in Africa. Officially, the Democratic Republic of São Tomé and Príncipe is an island country in the Gulf of Guinea, the western equatorial coast of Central Africa. It consists of two archipelagos around the two main islands of São Tomé and Príncipe, about 150 kilometers apart, and about 250 and 225 kilometers off the northwestern coast of Gabon. This is the 13th most developed country in Africa and 141 most developed in the world according to the HDI. The economic development of São Tomé is dominated by agriculture, which is one of the major economic activities in the country. The main export in São Tomé is cocoa, which represents about 90% of the exports. Apart from cocoa, other export crops include palm kernels, coffee, and copra. On the contrary, the country's domestic food production does not meet the local consumption, hence most of their food is imported. Number 12 on the list is Equatorial Guinea with a Human Development Index of 0.650. Officially, the Republic of Equatorial Guinea is a country on the west coast of Central Africa, with an area of 28,000 square kilometers. Located on the Atlantic coast of Central Africa, Equatorial Guinea is the 12th most developed country in Africa, and 133 in the world with a populace of 2 million individuals. The country is situated in a favorable position geographically, which provides it with a great platform for exporting goods to the Americas and Europe. Its major export is oil. The exports of the country have played a key role in creating employment opportunities for the youth of the country. Cape Verde is another country taking the 11th position with a Human Development Index of 0.661. Officially, the Republic of Cabo Verde is an archipelago and island country of West Africa in the central Atlantic Ocean, consisting of 10 volcanic islands with a combined land area of about 4,033 square kilometers. It is positioned as the 11th most developed country in Africa with a population of 539,560. Cape Verde is a combination of islands, which are located 570 kilometers off the coast of West Africa. The country's array of mountains, the seaside villages, the relentless beauty of landscapes, and appealing beaches have been of beneficial interest to tourists and foreign investors in the country. It relies on tourism for the most part. Number 10 is Gabon. Located in Central Africa, Gabon is bordered by Equatorial Guinea to the northwest, Cameroon to the north, the Republic of the Congo on the east and south, and the Gulf of Guinea to the west. It has an area of nearly 270,000 square kilometers and a population of 2.3 million people. Gabon is one of the most developing countries in Africa. Gabon gained independence from France in 1960 and became an upper-middle income economy. Oil makes up 80% of exports, although it relies on mining, forestry, and fishing industries. The country has a tourism industry as well. Gabon is the 10th most developed country in Africa and 123 in the world. Number 9 on the list is the Kingdom of Morocco with a Human Development Index of 0.686. It is in North Africa and has a total population of 37.6 million. It spans an area of 446,300 square kilometers. It gained independence from France in 1956 and is one of Africa's upper-middle income economies. The country has seen unexpected growth in various industries over the past years. Currently, the country is focusing on enhancing its high-value-added industries, and this has brought about a strong recovery on the European market. The main challenge remains boosting the private sector to encourage job creation for the younger generation. Morocco's leading economic sectors are textiles, leather goods, food processing, oil refining, and electronic assembly. Morocco is the 9th most developed country in Africa and 120 in the world. Botswana is taking the 8th position with a Human Development Index of 0.708. Botswana is a landlocked country in southern Africa. It has a total population of 2,352 million. Botswana is topographically flat, with up to 70% of its territory being the Kalahari Desert. Botswana gained independence from Britain in 1966. At that time, it was one of the poorest countries in the world. Yet, it quickly became an example of development success on the African continent, averaging 5% growth per annum over the past decade. Botswana is the 8th most developed country in Africa and 114 in the world. Number 7 is South Africa with a Human Development Index of 0.717. It has a total population of 59.31 million, and the country is the world's 23rd most populous nation and covers an area of 1,221,037 square kilometers. With its highly developed economy and advanced economic infrastructure, South Africa is a major player on the African continent. Being one of the world's largest producers and exporters of gold and platinum, the country has considerably developed its financial, legal, energy and transport sectors. The key economic sectors in South Africa are manufacturing, wholesale and retail trade, financial services, transport, mining, agriculture, and tourism. South Africa is ranked 7th most developed country in Africa and 110 in the world. Egypt is taking the 6th position with a Human Development Index of 0.728. It is in North and Central Africa and has a total population of 102.3 million people. It is bordered by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, the Gaza Strip, Palestine, and Israel to the northeast, the Red Sea to the east, Sudan to the south, and Libya to the west. Egypt gained independence from Britain in 1922 and is now an upper-middle income economy. Egypt is one of the unique countries in that part of it is in Africa while some parts are in the Middle East. Globally, Egypt is positioned as the 105 most developed country, while in Africa it is ranked at the 6th position. Egypt's economy relies mainly on agriculture, media, petroleum imports, natural gas, and tourism. 5th on the list is Tunisia with a Human Development Index of 0.732. Tunisia is one of the most developing countries in Africa that borders Algeria to the west and southwest, Libya to the southeast, and the Mediterranean Sea to the north and east, covering 163,610 square kilometers. It has a total population of 11.82 million people. It gained independence from France in 1956 and is currently a middle-income economy. With a relatively turbulent past, Tunisia has gradually been developing into a more stable economy. Tunisia has an agriculture industry, which makes up 9% of its exports. Besides this, it has small enterprises besides tourism. It also produces textiles and oil. Tunisia is positioned as the 5th most developed African country according to HDI, and the 101 most developed country in the world. Algeria is the number 4 with a Human Development Index of 0.745. Algeria is in North Africa and has a total population of 43.85 million. According to the World Bank, Algeria gained independence from France in 1962 and became an upper-middle income economy. Algeria is one of the largest countries in Africa that is situated north of the Sahara and borders Tunisia. It's the fourth most developed country in Africa and ranked 93 in the world. Algeria gets most of its income from the booming oil industry, where it is one of the largest producers in Africa. Its dominance in the oil industry has created lots of job opportunities for the Algerian youths. Aside from hydrocarbons, Algeria has struggled to find alternative sources of income. At present, there are developments in the tourism, fuel research, and communications industries, but they are still insignificant compared to the revenue generated by hydrocarbons. Now let's move to the third country on the list, but before that, if you are new here, kindly subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. Let's also hear you in the comment box below, where you are watching this video from. The third country on the list is Libya with a Human Development Index of 0.746. One of the most developing countries in Africa is Libya. It is in North Africa and has a total population of 6,871 million. It gained independence from Italy in 1951 and became an upper-middle income economy. Oil makes up almost the country's exports. Libya has the 10th largest proven oil reserves in the world. While agriculture accounts for 2% of its exports, Libya has a small mining industry, tourism, and textiles. The country has also undergone instability in recent years due to war, which led to a significant increase in unemployment. Libya is registered by the World Bank as one of the 8 developed African countries with the upper-middle income economic setup. Mauritius is the second most developed country in Africa with a Human Development Index of 0.796. Positioned the second most developed country in Africa and at position 72 in the world, Mauritius is also a major tourist destination in Africa. The country grew from an agriculture-based economic setup in the 1960s into a middle-income diversified economic setup with expansion witnessed in industries such as textile, sugar, financial services, and tourism. Mauritius is currently focusing on important sectors such as healthcare, property development, seafood, communication, and renewable energy to boost its economic income. The number 1 Seychelles with Human Development Index of 0.802. According to the HDI, Seychelles is the most developed African country. However, it sits at position 67 on the world stage. The country consists of 115 islands that are situated about 1,500 square kilometers to the east of the East African coastline. As an economy that once relied on plantation farming, Seychelles has positioned itself as a leading tourist destination in Africa. This country with the highest HDI in Africa also depends on other major sources of income including fishing, boat building, printing, and processing of agricultural products such as vanilla, coconuts, sweet potatoes, poultry, and beverages, among others. Africa is widely regarded as a continent on the rise. The 20 African countries mentioned in this video are on the forefront when it comes to paving the way for a better future in the continent. If you were wondering what is the most developed country in Africa in terms of living standards, then this list should answer your question. While most of these countries aren't in a better position to compete with their European counterparts, there is still a chance with more Africans pioneering developments in technology, farming, services, and industries. Thank you very much for watching the video. You can watch my other videos on the screen now. If you are new to the channel, kindly subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. Thanks for watching and bye for now.